I stood in front of the gate to my own property, and the lock on it wasn't mine. Behind the fence was my land, my home, my garage. But according to Karen and her HOA, it no longer belonged to me. I smirked. They thought they'd won. Clearly, they never read Section 14B of the deed like I did. I bought this piece of land 10 years ago, back when the neighborhood was nothing but a few dirt roads and a lot of potential. I built my house from scratch, planted trees, laid brick by brick with my own hands. Years passed, and new houses popped up all around me. And with them came the worst possible plague of modern suburbia, the Homeowners Association, the HOA. At the head of it, Karen. Blonde bob cut, voice like a smoke alarm, and the unwavering belief that she was the law of the land. From the beginning, Karen tried to bring me under her rule. At first, it was polite letters.
Join the HOA. Help the community thrive.
Then came demands.
You're required to follow neighborhood guidelines.
But I always declined. Politely at first. Firmly later. Because what Karen didn't understand, or bothered to check, was that my land was exempt. Legally, contractually, and irrevocably outside of HOA jurisdiction. And Karen? She doesn't like hearing no. First came the citations. For overgrown grass, for non-standard paint colors, for unauthorized landscaping. Petty nonsense. But then she crossed the line. No, she pole vaulted over it. They installed a fence around my property, with a padlock. A sign hung on the gate. Temporary seizure for non-compliance with HOA standards. I stood on the outside of my own land, looking in, and smiled, because they had just made a fatal mistake. You see, 10 years ago I did something most people don't do. I read every inch of the property contract, and buried deep within the paperwork was a clause. Section 14B, what I call the nuclear option. When I purchased my land, the original developer included a legal safeguard. Section 14B stated that if any entity, including an HOA, attempted to unlawfully assert control or claim authority over my property, and if such action could be proven, all associated parcels under that same development could revert control back to original owners or designated private status. In short, if HOA steps over the line and tries to take my land, they lose theirs. But it required one thing: proof. Documented, undeniable proof of unlawful seizure. Well, now I had it. Photos of the fence. Video of HOA board members installing the lock. A formal letter from the HOA signed by Karen herself, claiming jurisdiction. It was time to flip the switch. The next day, I filed at City Hall, then to the county clerk, then to a real estate attorney to activate Section 14B. 4 days later, a court summons was delivered to the HOA. 7 days after that, I stood outside the HOA's community office, with a court injunction in hand. The Homeowners Association is found to have unlawfully trespassed and seized private property outside its jurisdiction. Effective immediately, all HOA-managed properties linked to the original developer are frozen. Control reverts to the original owners pending full legal review. Karen stormed out of the building, waving papers and yelling,
This is insane! You can't do this! We own this community!
Ever read Section 14B, Karen? Within a month, the HOA was paralyzed. Better yet, several properties within the HOA's control, including those of Karen's close allies, reverted to private hands due to their development origin. Karen tried to fight back, called the news, went online with angry rants, but it didn't matter. The law was on my side, and so was the paperwork. 2 months later, the HOA officially dissolved.